Johnny Rock Show, Rockin' 101, the Rock Station.
Speaking of insane, here he is. World-class mentalist, magician, R-Max Goodwin. You're on the air. Please don't swear. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
We're good. Thanks for jumping on the Johnny Rock Show. You know, usually when I have a guest, they're promoting a book or a movie or a podcast. You're just saying, hey, go to rmaxgoodwin.com and hell, you'll do bar mitzvahs, right? Whatever.
That's right. Normally I'm doing corporate events and kind of high-end private events, but hey, if you want me there, I'll come. Why not?
Okay. Well, how did you realize that you could do what you do? I mean, you're not bending spoons, right?
Yeah, I've done that in the past, but not anymore. Restaurants they're not a fan of that. Is what I've found. I just don't like that. No, I started when I was a little kid, maybe 6 or 7 years old. Started with sleight of hand magic. My dad taught me a card trick, and I just kind of the bug bit me or whatnot, and I just couldn't stop. And so I started performing at the Magic Castle, which is a club in Hollywood, and performed there throughout high school and college. And then about 10, 12 years ago, I started to get exposed to mentalism, which is sort of a subgenre of magic, and I just realized that it was really something that I liked doing, and that I realized I kind of had some of the skill sets for it, and went from there. And now, it's been 10 years of doing this full time.
Oh, the Magic Castle. See, as a kid, I wanted to be a musician, but I couldn't play a note, and I wanted to be a magician, and I had all kinds of magic tricks. I had the what was it? The temple screen. Remember that?
The temple screen? No, what is it?
Oh, it was a temple screen, was from ancient Asia, and it was like a 3-sided screen that you would fold into a triangle, and then you would stick you would put all kinds of things in there, like usually scarves, and then you'd open it, and everything had disappeared, just like my ratings.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with the concept. I don't think I had that in my magic kit growing up, but I'm aware of what that is. Yeah, I mean, most people, or many people I've met have said, oh, I wanted to be a magician, and then it turns out a lot of people grow out of it, and they move on to bigger and bolder things. And for whatever reason, I just kept on going with it. My mom really wished my dad taught me something about medicine or economics or something else besides the card trick, but, their fault. So
hey.
Here we are.
It's good on you. rmaxgoodwin.com. You were just on, Fox Sports, blowing the collective minds of the hosts, including Derek Jeter?
Yeah. Derek Jeter and A-Rod and Big Papi, David Ortiz. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The challenge. The only challenge is, now the clip is online and whatnot, and one of the things I did with Derek Jeter is I asked him to think of his child as a hero, right? Because he's no doubt the child hero of many kids playing baseball, probably people playing in the major leagues right now. And so I guessed his person's name, and then later on, everybody had these comments saying like, oh, he mentioned that in this ESPN documentary, and other people said, oh, no, he didn't. He mentioned somebody else, and it wasn't even how I did what I did, but people accused me all the time of like, okay, maybe there's some other way that you could do this. Maybe you talk to somebody and so-and-so told you, oh, you know what, if you talk to this guy, he's going to say that his favorite restaurant is Johnny Rockets or whatever. So it created that challenge of, well, this is what it looks like performing for somebody on TV who has like a well-known track record. So anyway, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Well, if there's one thing that I don't have, that's a well-known track record. So for you to read my mind, it's a little different than Derek Jeter. How are you going to do this? I'll hand it to you, and let's see what you can do.
Yeah, it's challenging. I bring that up because if I did ask you something like, think of your favorite restaurant, maybe somebody would you could think that there's no way you would know that, but somebody else was listening to say, well, maybe he talked to his producer, and his producer said, oh, he's always talking about going to the Olive Garden on Fridays. Who knows? So I want to try to do this in a way that's personal, but also, I don't want to reveal your deepest, darkest secrets. Don't worry. Can you go back in time and think of like a first date, like decades ago, most likely, and think of like, it's best if people think of locations because they can really visualize the location, and visualization is part of what I do, even though this is on the radio. So, visualize if you can, like a first date, let's say, first date location. Can you think of a place? Do you have a place in mind?
With a boy or a girl? No, not that there's anything wrong with it. No, I honestly, yeah. I remember it, and it was very memorable. But I don't think I've ever talked about it on the radio. And yes, I can visualize my first date. Okay, that's
kind of why the point of the question is trying to figure out something that nobody would possibly know, preferably something that people haven't even thought about in decades. Doesn't oftentimes make it into somebody's biography. So let's do this. Spell this, not out loud, obviously. That makes it just me listening. Spell it in your head, though, whatever this place was called, or the name, or whatever. Spell it in your head. And when you're done, you let me know. Done. Got it.
Okay, hold on. How do you spell deja vu? No, again. No. I'm thinking.
No, this is already telling you something.
Okay.
This is telling me something that it's a longer name. It's a longer place. You're not just thinking of something like bowling or something like that.
No.
Longer.
I have a specific place.
And this is good. Was this inside or outside? Tell me that.
Inside.
I need a little bit of help here.
Inside
place. Okay. I mean, that narrows it down, but not like a ton. Let's do this. I want to say this is at a school. Is that right?
That is right.
Okay. Hey, that was pretty good because that canceled out a lot right there.
Wow.
I'm going to do this. Okay, that school. There's not too many like romantic places for a date at school. Although, for all I know, I don't really know you well. You could have just gone on a date underneath the bleachers. I'm going to do it's a longer name. I'm going to say that your first date was at somewhere in Minnesota, and it was at your campus theater.
How did you do that? Seriously.
I thought for a moment that the call dropped. I was like, uh-oh.
No, that's serious. And I'm not playing here.
Part of it,
oh, my God. Now listen.
Part of it is a little bit of a educated guesses, right?
Yeah,
I mean, anybody listening will know I did get some yes answers from you, some no answers from you. And then a little bit of, listening to people's voices and some of the tells that people have. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Now, yesterday, I had mentioned that you and I were having a conference call after the show just to touch base, and you asked me some questions, but we, honestly, I swear to God, we didn't set this up where, okay, you say what's your first date, and then I'll say, no, my first date was with a girl named Lori in ninth. Can I tell the story, or are you going to keep?
Yeah.
Okay. Ninth grade. Her name was Lori. The movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail was playing at the campus theater in Southeast Minneapolis at the U of M campus. The theater doesn't exist
Minneapolis.
anymore. Yeah.
I had Minnesota.
Well, hey, you got campus theater. That is, and I remember it because you got to love my dad. I was, I don't know, 14, 15, so I couldn't drive, and it was pouring rain. So he drove us, and as I got out of the car, all nervous, I'll never forget, he said, son, did you bring your rubbers? Meaning galoshes. But, she was horrified. God. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
No, that's, that is really, you blew my mind. That's something.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, that is just great. Okay, well, by all means, go to rmaxgoodwin.com. Hire this guy for your birthday parties, weddings, bar mitzvahs. You got it all here.
Corporate events. Yeah.
There you go. Don't forget about the corporate events. First dates. rmax Goodwin. You are something. Thanks from the Johnny Rock Show, okay?
I appreciate it. Good
okay,
time.
there he goes. Wow. Hello. Seriously, we didn't make that up. That's pretty freaky. Of course, years later at a Thanksgiving dinner, I told that story about, son, did you remember to bring your rubbers? And said to my dad, I was so embarrassed. Dad, you had no idea what you were saying. And he paused and said, oh, didn't I?
The Johnny Rock Show. Rockin' 101. The